In response, Pujols threw a single punch to Cook's jaw. Cook fell backward, struck his head on the concrete floor, and lost consciousness.
I had a little bit of issue with it. I said, say it again, and he did. Right hooks under them. He hit him. He fell. Yeah.
This is Corey Ellis Pujols, a 27-year-old Dunkin' Donuts manager with no criminal record. He just landed a deadly blow on a 77-year-old man, and that singular act was just enough to ruin his clean records, claim the life of a man, and earn him significant charges.
The lessons that we will be able to extract within the confines of this video will save a young man's life. And I mean that when I say this. So send this out to all of the young men that are currently in your life. All right. What we will chat about within this is violence and when it's necessary and when to enact it. All right. Now, the older man within this conversation was walking around disrespecting people with one hit point left on his life bar, and he's racist, and we found out later that he's an ex-offender, and a young man reacted, and that reaction took this man's life. All right. Now, whether or not you agree with how he reacted or you disagree, we can all agree that the consequences that his life went through after doing this was a lot, and it has the opportunity to ruin your life. So we're going to go over this story, extract the lessons, and as well as how this man conducted himself when placed in front of the police, and inevitably the consequences that came to him as a result of his in-the-moment emotional reaction. All right? Buckle up for this one, because we will go there. Without further ado.
On May 4th, 2021, just after 1:30 p.m., Tampa police were called to a Dunkin' Donuts inside a Circle K in the Palm River area of Tampa. When officers arrived, medics were already treating the victim, 77-year-old Vanell Cook, who was unconscious and bleeding from the head.
And I guess it's spilled, and I ran in here. He was.
I don't know what happened. I was there. He was under there. Don't check again. He was face. I'm sitting down.
Which kid? He has heart problems. He's 100% disabled. Disabled veteran. Disabled veteran. He's got allergies. He's seen allergy tag. What do you have?
Almost immediately, Corey Pujols approached the officers and told them he was the man they were looking for, calm and cooperative. He explained exactly what happened.
So first and foremost, let me just say my name is Corey Ellis Pujols. I am the guy you were looking for in regards to this situation. The long and short of it is that here obviously at Dunkin', he's a regular. He normally comes through here and orders a large hot coffee. But today, maybe he's having a rough day or something, and he decided to be extremely profound at the mouth. And I asked him respectfully on the microphone, could you please not use that kind of language, obviously with me and my employees. And as well as that, and he said no, and then he came around to the window. He kept going at the window. And then I guess he was going to come inside, so I came inside. I came along this side to let him know. He asked for the manager. Our current store manager is off already. She worked morning shift, and she's currently otherwise here. So I would be for the senior shift. I've been here a little bit longer than he has, so I reserve responsibility for that. In any case, I came out to let him know. I said, listen, sir, with the profanity that you use, I would highly recommend that you go on about your business. We don't want to serve you any coffee today. Maybe you can try again another day, but you have clearly upset the atmosphere here, and we would like for you to go on about your business. I asked him to do that repetitively. It's all on camera. As I mentioned, he came inside, and when he came inside, he addressed me, and he was looking. I said, hey, listen, the manager's not here right now. I'll give you the manager's store number and all that good stuff. And he didn't want it, and I said, sir, well, can you please go on about your business again and have a good day? He said, no, you're a nigger. And then I said, and I'm sorry, I had a little bit of issue with it, and I said, say it again, and he did. Right hooks under them.
So it goes without being said that you can't hit somebody because they say something you don't like.
I very
Doesn't matter.
well.
I'm just telling you, brother.
No, I agree. Believe me. I'm terrified right now, but I agree with what you're saying. You shouldn't. I have had a fit of racism since I've only been here about 2 months, and I've dealt with so much of it. And I'm not saying that is a reason to do it. I'm not.
I got people that say a bunch of hateful and horrible stuff to me every single day. For the past like 16 years, I let it go in one ear and out the other. It ain't gonna hurt you. This will get you in trouble. Not gonna get you arrested, but I mean, dude, you hit him and he fell down.
Yeah, and he hit his head pretty good.
And he should have never said what he said. But guess what? That's the country we live in. You say what you want to say.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, like you're saying, dude, get the freak out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slipped and fall, pushed and fell.
Right hook and fell. My apologies for the
He was hit and he fell down.
Keep down. I don't this other. You hit him. You punched him and he fell.
Okay. Let's take a quick pause. I need everybody to hear me when I say this. If there's a cop around, you are more than likely being recorded. Assume that you're being recorded. And everything that you say to that cop, especially in a situation as critical as this, will be used in the court of law. You should always, immediately, invoke your constitutional right to remain silent and call a lawyer before answering any questions. This is, in fact, a life or death situation. And if you admit fault or explain your version of events, and the human brain is not very good at remembering high octane or high adrenaline situations correctly, and anything that you say in the heat of the moment can be utilized against you. Don't run from the situation. Remain at the scene, but you remain there to say that you're going to remain silent and that you want a lawyer. The police are not there to protect you. They're there to protect the law. Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies out there called data brokers that will sell your data to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And it's a nasty, disgusting feeling knowing that there's bad actors out there selling my information, selling your information for profit. But that's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. Now, I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep my information off. But they do other things as well, such as bank fraud and identity theft alerts, VPN access. But guys, utilize my link down in the description box down below for a 14-day trial. At least see if you've been compromised. Privacy is king in this day and age, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link, aura.com/MTR, in the description box down below to try 2 weeks free. That's way more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed. Go now. But for the things that he's saying, there's no screaming, there's no emotionality, there's no pacing back and forth, there's no like crazy crying. I mean, he doesn't even know if the older man is deceased as of yet, presumably. His body language is steady, his voice is controlled, right? He has composure about him. This is a way to deliver a message to appear believable, but I don't think that he should be delivering a message right now to begin with. But let's proceed.
I'm not one to run from what I've done.
No, you're fine.
And again, he's a regular, so I honestly feel like about this situation.
All right, no worries. Some of you guys have to go out.
Yes, sir. You too. Take it easy.
He's scared, and rightfully so.
Howdy. Gentleman came in, was being very rude to this gentleman, which is the on-duty manager.
Acting manager for all intents and purposes.
Yeah. Said some few expletives, and he hit him. And he fell.
He hit him?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get his information yet or no?
I have not. I just came in and...
That's his grandson that's with him, though.
Okay.
That is his grandson.
I was just talking with
that
him.
information if necessary.
So, yeah, you want to grab his 43?
I have.
Video of it?
We do have surveillance. However, when the boss leaves, she locks the.
That's fine.
Yeah, she locks the.
So here's the reality of what could happen.
Yeah.
If you charge a battery, yeah, you could be charged a battery.
Right.
You know, that's after we speak with him and see what's going on.
I'm aware. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not trying to get on to you, man.
Yeah. No.
You can't let, and I'm telling you this from here on out, you can't let what somebody says in your ear.
Yeah.
Said I deal with it and I let it go on. I mean, people say nasty and hateful stuff to him and I just
Oh,
because
believe
we
me,
do our job.
I know.
For no reason.
I know it.
You're going to have people like that throughout your life. You just got to let it go in one ear and right out the other. And just realize that he's going to leave and be on his way, and you're going to still be here working.
Right.
You know. So we'll let them get him loaded up and everything like that. Just do what you got to do, bro. I'll be in here in a minute.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
You're cool. You're good to go, man. Thank you.
It started moments earlier in the drive-thru. Employees couldn't hear Cook through the speaker. He became agitated, began yelling, and was told to leave without being served. Instead, he parked and walked inside. A Dunkin' employee who dealt with Cook at the drive-thru told officers the same story Pujols did.
So basically, he was just being, outright rude on your card is going through. But he was just being
For
like,
what reason?
outright verbal. I asked him if he wanted iced or hot coffee. He instantly was like cold coffee. He was like, who the fuck likes cold coffee? I always get fast, so the same. Y'all always get it wrong. I'm like, okay, sir, we cannot hear and identify you at the window.
So he got mad because you asked him if he wanted ice or hot coffee.
Yeah.
He's an idiot.
He was already mad.
Yeah. This,
A large hot latte. Okay.
look at this young, hard-working man continuing to work while giving the story. Like this,
Instantly, he was just,
give this man a raise.
above level. So he was being very verbal. Didn't want to listen to what we were saying. So Corey was like, he got on the mic because I've only been here for like just 3 weeks.
Sure.
But I've had Dunkin' experience, so
Well, that shouldn't be a normal reaction of somebody.
it shouldn't be a normal reaction. So he didn't want to.
I want to hire this guy.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so yeah, he was being really verbal for absolute no reason. So Corey got on the mic because he's the veteran here, the more experienced person.
Sure.
So he took over the mic and was like, "Can you not talk to the customer employees like that?" And he didn't listen. So he said, "Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're not gonna take your order today. We're gonna ask.
Don't serve it.
We have to leave."
Yeah.
Came up here. We had a verbal like, "Can you leave? We're not gonna take your order," type of thing right here. We were reassuring him that he could come again later. So then that's when he came up to the front and was right there.
So even after y'all asked him to leave,
He kept on coming.
he parked, and when you say up there, up at the front counter.
Yeah, he came to the car. So we knew Corey was gonna. So me and Corey went up there to wait and tell him to leave again. He didn't want to listen again, so we asked him to leave multiple times, and that's when he called Corey the N-word, and it escalated from there.
What did you see happen from there?
From what I seen is I heard him telling Corey told me to call the cops off rip. So I was calling the cops, I was calling my manager, I was calling everybody. And the dude he kept on being violent, very rude. So
When you say violent, like physically violent,
no,
or
not
just verbally?
physically. I don't think he physically touched Corey, but mentally
He's
trying to get into
just trying to get a reaction. Yeah.
Mess with him and around with his head.
Yeah.
So
Racist.
then Corey, he was like, "Okay, we're gonna ask you one more time. We're gonna either, you're gonna leave, or we're gonna call the cops." I was already calling the cops, so he didn't want to leave. He was like, "There's a bunch of niggas, this, that, and third. Your nicknames." Corey was like, "One more time," and he called him another nick, and that's what happened. I was right here, and I was on the phone with my manager and the police officers at that time. Oh wait, yeah, police officer at that time, and that's what happened.
So what happened after that, after he said that?
Corey punched him. He was on the floor, and
That's
he
it.
was on the floor.
Okay. And you were standing like
Like right around.
HP went from 1 to 0.
Okay. Is he? And Corey said he's a normally regular. He comes through
He
here.
comes here a lot, and he's very, like verbal. Like I guess he doesn't know how to, be respectful. So
Well, normal people know how to be respectful, and choose not to be.
He wasn't being
Yeah,
respectful.
I mean it's
And
horrible.
yeah, so he does this a lot. I've had multiple times where I've had to go through it. He gets mad because we don't know his order. but we don't know your orders because we cannot physically see your face.
Sure.
Now,
Hello.
emotionally reacting as opposed to logically responding changed both of their lives forever. And we can argue all day whether or not that the old man deserved it. And again, I don't have sympathy knowing the type of person that he is, especially in being a sex offender racist, right? Like, he's scum of the earth, okay? We can all agree on that. But stepping out from behind that counter to confront this old dirty piece of shit changed this young man's life forever. But because he was unable to let his ego go and he allowed a rotten person's words to get to him, he now has to deal with the consequences. Gentlemen, listen to me. Defend yourself by any means necessary if your back is up against the wall, but there should be no words that anybody can say to you on this planet that should hurt you enough to strike them when you know the laws that are in play. Striking them may have consequences. You could win, but you may lose. You may lose in the form of them striking you back and winning. You may lose in them shooting you back. You may lose in them stabbing you back, but you may also lose in them hitting their head on the ground and dying. If you just let this loser who wasted his whole life continue on talking, he would have forgot about the situation an hour later and would have went about his day and his life, but now his life is forever impacted. They're about to look at the security cam footage to corroborate the story. Let's go.
Manager?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you able to? A, I got a thumb drive. Or B, if we're able to get the video, can you email it? What's the better for you?
I'll have it emailed to you.
Okay.
I'll have my law prevention guy
Okay.
send it to you.
Let me go out and.
Give me an email address.
Yes, sir.
I'll call him now, as a matter of fact, to go ahead and get him to do it.
Okay.
Police requested the store's surveillance footage, and it told the exact story the two employees told.
Good.
Instead of leaving the property as the employees requested, Vanell Cook parked his car and walked inside the store. Seeing this, Corey Pujols, the on-duty manager, immediately told a co-worker to call the
cops.
police.
Yeah.
Cook approached the service counter and continued arguing. Pujols stayed on the opposite side, separated by a waist-high swinging door, and repeatedly told Cook to leave the store. During the confrontation, Cook used a racial slur, calling Pujols the N-word. At that point, Pujols stepped through the swinging door, moving closer but keeping his hands at his sides. He warned Cook not to say the word again. Cook repeated the slur. In response, Pujols threw a single punch to Cook's jaw. Cook fell backward, struck his head on the concrete floor, and lost consciousness. Pujols then walked away as emergency services were already being called. The victim, Vanell Cook, was later revealed to be a registered sex offender
Looks like he
with
eats
a long
people, too.
criminal history involving child exploitation.
Wow.
Prosecutors would later describe him as an unsympathetic victim, but legally, none of that justified the punch. The officers eventually did what they had to do.
It feels better in here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good. Yeah.
They told me what happened. I feel for you 100% right now. What happened to accept you is not acceptable in any way, shape, or form. And I understand your anger and your level of frustration, but I would be pissed too. And this is one of those things that there's one thing that's steering us right now, and it's the level of risk. He's in critical condition right now. It's not okay. He has his brain swelling right now. He's unconscious and everything. So I'm going to pray for you and for him that he recovers. If he recovers and he's okay, this is not big deal. He's here today. It's the level of injury. Had he not been this injured, there's a lot of things he could have done. Because like I said, nobody here is okay with what that guy said.
They care about what you did, yeah.
He deserves to be put in his place for that. But because of how seriously he's injured, we have no choice.
Right.
So I want you to understand that. Everybody here agrees that what Kentucky is wrong, what he said he was wrong, and that's what he's supposed to do. Like I said, he's not in there. So I'm going to pray for you and for him that he recovers, that he just hopefully go away. But for the time being, you're going to be charged 1 count of battery on the elderly male, which is over 65 years of age. You'll have a bond, so it's not going to be really high. You're going to bond out tonight at some point.
And then we'll just pray all of us
That he makes it.
God recovers and everything will work itself out. You know what I'm saying? Is there anything you have that you want somebody to say here?
Yes, please. I'm his mom.
That's fine. Mom, you want to step over here and we grab all this stuff?
Get that right.
What the cop said there was very important, in it being that no one agrees with the old guy did, but it is within our First Amendment rights to say whatever it is that we want, whatever it is that we please. The law has to take action on his actions, him escalating to physical violence. But imagine if this weirdo, disrespectful guy wasn't an ass offender, right, with a history of child diddling, okay? Or if he never said anything racially charged, would they be as sympathetic to him? The circumstances will change the context, but the young man didn't know any of that. So will that aid him, and as well as him not having a criminal record? Well, we're gonna find out.
Do you want a bag? Ma'am, do you want a bag? I can give you a bag for all that. Yeah, I've got one in here, or if you got one, that's fine.
Like I say, he'll get a bond, hopefully as fast as possible so he can get out and be done with it. But I mean, I called the state attorney's office, I spoke to all of our supervision, and it's just unfortunate, I wish the guy had a black eye so we could all say, hey, watch your mouth, but he's been through that. It's just one of those things that
Also, the security cam footage probably corroborated the story as well. So that helps.
Corey, you have anything else on you, brother?
No, that's it. Took everything else.
That's for mom.
Okay, that's it?
Right here. Yeah, that's for mom.
Yeah. That's it for the copy?
Yes.
Yes.
Corey, you come have a seat in the car real quick.
Yes.
Brother, what the detective was saying, we 100% agree. But when his head hit hard and everything, when they brought him out here, he was unconscious.
Yeah.
And then while he's up there, he's not doing good right now. He could get better, okay? So you go down, we'll tell mom. Mom can go down. Yeah, you do that and I'll 10:35.
Where's dad at?
Do they? Okay, that's fine. It's just a hope, brother, that it gets better.
Yeah.
Okay? I know that was not your intent.
It was not.
It wasn't. I know that. You told me that right off the bat, man. It would have been
But it's
different
the result.
if it would have progressed and there would have been more physical after that, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
But everything, when something happens, everything is taken
Into
that happens
consideration.
in her situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So him falling, him getting the injury, him being elderly, again, he could be in the hospital and be completely fine by tomorrow.
Yeah. But
Okay?
but it's not
But
self-defense.
once mom can come down and bond you out. It should be, I think, $1,000 bond or $100 to do a bondsman. She can come down and bond you out. And I'm sorry about this.
I'm sorry because I still think, no matter what anybody thinks of me, I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't. I agree with everybody. I shouldn't.
Let me turn the air on for you. Let me talk to mom real quick. Okay?
3 days later, on May 7th, 2021, Cook died from a skull fracture and brain contusions. Pujols was rearrested and charged with aggravated manslaughter of an elderly adult, facing up to 30 years in prison. In March of 2022, prosecutors made a controversial decision. They reduced the charge to felony battery. Pujols was sentenced to 2 years house arrest, 3 years probation, 200 hours community service, mandatory anger management, and no prison time. Prosecutors cited key factors such as Pujols' clean record, the victim's aggression and racial slurs, and uncertainty under Florida's stand your ground laws. One man's past made him an unsympathetic victim.
Yeah.
The other's clean record spared him a prison cell. But in the end, a single punch thrown in anger ended a life.
Yeah.
So, him and others such as
Ended a life and changed this young man's life forever. If I ever had the opportunity to speak with him, I'd ask him, would you have changed anything about this? And I'm sure that he would say yes. What he said in the back of that car, I think, was very important, that it wasn't his intention. World doesn't care about intentions. It cares about the result. You can intend to go to the casino and become a multimillionaire, but was that the result? But it absolutely worked for him. that not only did everyone corroborate the story, but then they had the security tapes, the way that he conducted himself, the fact that he doesn't have a prior criminal history, and the fact that the guy's super racist. Essentially, it's just a public nuisance that also diddled with children. So I'm happy that Florida decided to reduce this down to battery, which, you know, was just 2 years of house arrest for him. And in comparison to what he was facing, this is absolutely a win. But let's not act like 2 years of house arrest will not change his life, or 3 years of probation will not change his life either. And again, I have little to no sympathy for the guy that he inevitably hit, but of all of the people to hit, this was, you know, the best type. And I hate to say it like that because he lost his life, and I never want to celebrate somebody's death. But what if all of that wasn't in his background? Which there goes the lesson. One of the main lessons that we went through here today, in it being that boys emotionally react, men logically respond. You enact violence if there is the clear, direct, present threat of violence. And that's not what happened here. It was verbal altercation that then turned deadly. So he wouldn't have been able to use self-defense, even though Florida is a stand your ground state. And I also want the young G's that watch this channel to know that just because you have the opportunity to be violent, violence doesn't necessarily denote strength. Being able to control your reactions to something, whether it be emotionally disturbing to you, that to me is strength. All right. Because we've all been in these situations that we wish that we could have taken back. OK, but how many times do we see, like, for example, a road rage situation ending off deadly because of something that's happening on the road, and in fact made even more deadly because the rage is induced? Well, it is your power to control that rage, right? Because your control makes you the strongest man in that situation. It makes you the strongest person within crisis, okay? Because you're thinking clearly and you're not in a fight or flight mode where many times logic just goes away. You're responding from the most simple component of your brain as opposed to the logical thinking component, all right? So when you're in these situations, you create as much distance as possible. You document everything. You got your phone, pull out your phone, okay? Because doing these things will protect you for the long run, legally as well as physically, all right? You have to train your temperament. It's not something that you're born with. His mom was there. I don't know where his pops was, but this is something that fathers teach, the control of your emotion. Good fathers, great fathers. They teach the control of your emotions, all right? So avoid unnecessary escalation. And if placed in these extreme moments, let your composure and your logic speak way before any of your emotions do, all right? But yeah, I have little to no sympathy for that man. Any people out here that hurt kids, right? Like, this world was actually made a little bit safer that the diddler out here is off of the streets, but it is what it is. All right, guys, let me know what you think down in the comment box down below. For any of my G's, if you have stories of, you know, somewhat similar situations to this where violence was enacted and you learned something for that, feel free to be able to share down in the comments below. I know a lot of people, as they watch the video, they'll just go out in the comments and read at the same time that they're actually watching the video. So perhaps some of your stories down up in there can inform somebody in the way that they can improve their life going into the future. But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Keep safe out there. All right. Keep your wits about you. All right. And also, shout out to today's sponsor, Aura. Utilize my link down below in order to get 2 weeks free to at least see if your private information is exposed out on these websites. You don't want that. There's too many scamblers and hustlers out there that are trying to get your private information to do nefarious things with, okay? So utilize my link down below to get 2 free weeks to at least see if your information has been exposed. Go right now. All right, guys. Until next time. Peace.
So without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. I'm packing and rapping like here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound with his MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.